it's more drum, guitar kind of
rock.
Yes, but we don't mention it as rock right now because the moment we mention rock, it can turn off people and people will associate those heavy metal. We are not going to go towards that because the locals guys love a bit of ballad because there's pop rock, there's different kind of pop rock. So we are trying to go far away from
the real music, guitar.
Yes, because we want to establish the brand position and the music direction. Once we feel that it's really okay, established, and then we will introduce the heavy metal part. But heavy metal part will only come in later part. Yeah, so we don't want, because it can scare people.
Early morning.
So and then for UFM, the audience is 35 to 49. It's more Highlanders and all the it's a Chinese station, Mandarin speaking station. Yeah, even though they speak English as well. We as a bilingual station. Yeah, so that's the main focus, and they are doing a lot of more music, less talk. In fact, the 3 station now is
more for the taxi drivers.
Because this is more Heartlanders targeting at housewives. Yeah, it's a very different audience. And infotainment is their main area they're looking at. Previously, they were a lot of information driven kind of station, but then we realized that Singaporeans just want the DJ to talk less and then more music. So that's why with Hot FM previously, it has always been music, and the DJs are allowed only like a few seconds to talk. So now every station is following that.
So before, what kind of information?
Theirs is more local content and it's very light. Yeah, not too heavy stuff. News. Yeah, definitely. There's news for all the radio stations. There will be news because it's required by.
But no politics, those kind of.
We try to avoid politics kind of news.
So no commentators, no opinion.
Opinion-wise, so far,
on entertainment and lifestyle.
It's more on entertainment lifestyle. Yeah, politics we try to stay away from that because we don't want to be caught or being seen as supporting this party. It's very dangerous. So
establish like fair.
Yes.
Health, about the environment?
Yeah, there are certain segments because each station depends on the DJs. Yes, if they want to go to fashion and they will talk about fashion. Yeah.
Let's say for the station that's the audience, let's say are housewives. So your information will cater.
Yes,
like,
we need to make sure that the
they
content is skewed towards the target audience. Yeah, because it doesn't make sense if we talk about something that the people cannot relate. Yeah, that's the most important thing. And then that's for UFM. And then Kiss 92. Kiss 92 is only like two years plus, which is quite so-called new for a radio station. And it's now the number 1 English radio for the ladies. And we are hoping to get the number 1 position from, because our competitor class is they said number 1. We are just a few digits away from them, so
very close
because we are in terms of morning show, we are second behind the current number 1, but the rest of the shows, Clarissa, Charmaine, John is number 1 already in their own segment. They are already number 1, leading the, be it male or female. They're really number 1.
How do Ryan Seacrest records or tapes his program?
Ryan will just customize the program and then email it to all the radio station who purchase his show. Yeah, so normally we will receive his content like if I'm not wrong, it's 2-3 hours before. Yeah, it's very, because he has to record a lot of radio stations. It's not only us in Singapore, they are all over the world.
So meaning your
it's very current. It's not like 2-3 days ago kind of content. No, we don't.
What type of show? Is it a talk show?
No, his is also music driven. Very light, very lifestyle targeted at ladies. All the all the topics are very lady driven.
So you would say that a lot of women would listen.
Yes, because there's a target audience.
Yeah.
So now it's balanced. 1FM is targeting at the guys, so Kiss is targeting at the ladies.
And the other one is bilingual.
Yes, so they target both.
So they have different programs, right?
Yes.
Who conceptualizes the programs?
Program wise, our program director.
Okay.
Yeah, before Kiss was launched, we already know like which, because morning show is always the most important segment for radio station. In fact, all over the world, morning show is the main focus.
Traveling to office.
Yes, morning and
time.
evening, but morning is the main priority, followed by the evening drive time, because people go to work and head
Come back.
home. Yeah. That's the lunchtime for Clarissa and Shamin, because they play a lot of, so people having food coma, so they just want music. Let's stop, definitely. Yeah.
Help on their digestion.
So it's 3 stations, so every station has its own target audience. Yeah.
How did you conceptualize that I want to target this group of people?
Aside from surveys.
Yeah.
Before the radio station, normally the programming team will do their own surveys, as in internal. Yeah, 1FM was conceptualized because we noticed there's a gap. Like nobody's tapping on the men's market. Everybody wants to focus
General.
Yeah, and you're fighting the same audience ago. So why not stream it down? Because the formula for Kiss 92 works. So we're hoping that the formula for Kiss 1FM will go as well. Yeah.
How many people are there in that
The whole entire
that planning or team?
that one I'm not so sure, because I was only my role starts when
When all is ready.
yes, I will just have to make sure that we market it, we launch it properly. Yeah. Yes. So 1FM, the logos was already settled, and then it's time for me to roll out to make sure that people know that it exists. Yeah. So January 19 was the most important and the most stressful day of my life. In fact, the whole entire week, because we need to, when we switch website, everything needs to be changed. Yeah. So because for all the 3 stations, we know that we cannot depend on radio itself, because radio has already evolved. It goes on different platforms. So we have our online content, then social media, and we have app, our mobile streaming, and then definitely on ground. That's our focus since I joined. Compared to our competitor, we realized that they only focus on air. And then when we steer the market a bit, and then we come up with our own street team, and then you realize that they are standing up and like, hey, what's going on? So that's why it's always
Really
need to be
what's new,
fresh.
yeah,
Yes.
fresh.
Yeah, you just need to keep up your program, as you must be aware of what is going on.
Keep it trendy.
Yes, correct.
Something new and fresh always.
Our stations, the DJs are encouraged. Our listeners are very loyal, so they're very sticky to our DJs, because we believe that without the listeners, there will be no DJ, and without the DJ, there will be no radio station.
Yeah, true.
We hold on to that. I think hardly any of them behave like a diva, not allowed to. Yeah, we don't, because we are very. In fact, when we have
Their
events, the
image is
DJs,
also, yeah.
the DJs are encouraged to mingle with our listeners.
So what are the like basic qualities or characteristics of the DJs?
DJs,
Yeah, for
wise.
example, if you want to be a DJ, we should be like
realize
this.
we realize that because normally all the people wants to be DJ. A lot of requests, I want to be DJ. And then normally sometimes they will email to me that I need to forward to the program department, definitely, because the program director is the one who determines which.
Should be a
who has
basic
the voice.
degree. Should have a degree on this.
I think
have the voice.
I think all of normally we look at personality. You have good voice, but you have no personality, and you can't relate to listeners.
Connect,
What's the
yeah.
use? Yeah.
It's quite difficult to talk when you're just alone. And you have to talk to people.
And when you want to if you want to be a DJ, you must know the target audience and the music of each station.
Right.
Because we have received a lot of demo tape. I want to be DJ for this station. But then when we hear the demo, you sure you want to be this? You want to be our DJ for this station? Because
You wrongly sent.
yes, because okay, example previously one of them was Hot FM. It's supposed to be upbeat, cheerful, kind of energetic music. We don't play ballads kind of thing. So the DJs are always very cheery.
Yeah.
We cannot sound depressed on air. We receive very like reading news kind of demos, which is it's not what we're looking for.
It doesn't fit in.
It doesn't fit. Yeah. Even though you may have good voice, but you want to be you see you are this radio station is my favorite, then you should know the characteristic of the station.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agree.
What are the challenges of running one or more radio stations?
I think for us, from my side, I think manpower, definitely. Yeah, you need to find somebody who really loves music, who really,
The heart and soul.
yes, you really need to love working in radio, because the time, I think I start work at 8, supposedly 8:30 till 6. But I'm here always at 8 and then we'll end up working till 8, 9. And then Saturdays, Sundays, we are working as well. I think it's a passion. It's a passion. If you are thinking about, this is the salary that I've been paid and I only want to do this. I think it's not the correct industry, definitely. Yes, if you're very particular about it, you can't.
So, Desiree, how do you prepare for your script? I mean, how do you do it and prepare for your script before you go on
Is it really
live?
scripted or no?
Okay, some veteran DJs will probably just do it on the fly, but it's always best to prepare.
Yes. Over here, our program director is very particular about prep. Before you step into the studio, you must know what you want to do for the show. Yes, very important.
Basically, you will at least have a game plan before you go in for it. For example, you may have particular elements on the show that it's kind of fixed. For example, at this certain time, I will have a wake-up call segment. So all this has already been planned, discussed, and fixed. So in a way, you know what to expect.
Right.
You know what's going to happen later on the show. I guess the only preparation that comes next would be your stories, basically your relatable content. You cannot share stories that are way too old. Maybe if you find something on Facebook that everyone is sharing, has gone viral, you can probably keep that in your phone so that you can use it the next day. So this is how we actually prep for the show. Yeah, so you need a game plan. Basically, that's the most important thing. You don't have to script every single talk set word for word. Usually that's for DJs with very little experience. That is how they start, which is okay.
Outline, yeah.
Because we want you to be prepared. You don't want you to just turn on the mic and just talk rubbish. You get what I mean? So for a new DJ, yes, they tend to script even word for word, so that you know what to say and what not to say. But as long as you have done some preparation, have a list of stories, and with that said, sometimes things happen.
Yeah.
You have to be flexible. You must be able to change things up a little bit. Okay, maybe we don't do this story here. Let's push it back to somewhere else.
Yeah. So speaking of, like, you mentioned that you have to bring something relatable story. So with that relationship, or like, how do you connect to your listeners? I mean, what are the key factors that you must always remember that you're able to connect with your listeners?
Well, we will never ever be able to get it 100% right every single time, but as long as you pay attention to your target audience. Yeah, for example, if you're dealing with a contemporary hit radio station and your target audience is from 15 to 25, for example, you need to get into their mindset. You need to know what kind of stuff they like, what they are into. Perhaps the party, a Zoom party that's coming up in a couple of weeks, talk about that. Talk about a silly video that's gone viral. That it's more relatable to, say, the younger ones. The working adults may not be as interested. You get what I mean? So you may not be able to use the same story if you are a DJ in another station, for example, like KISS or for 1FM where the target audience is older. Yeah. So like for example, 1FM, the primary target audience are males, right? So for example, me as a female jock, I cannot go too girly. I cannot talk about makeup.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I cannot talk about slimming because I'm not talking to my target audience anymore if I were to do that. So same for KISS as well. So I guess as long as you pay attention to who you're talking to. Of course it helps if you can even like you can envision your friend just in front of you and you're talking to a friend. It sounds better because just listen to yourself when you're speaking to like a colleague, to your boss. It's very formal, but it's not real. When you talk to a friend, it's a different tone. So that's the guideline for most of our DJs. That is where it becomes more real. I guess that's the operative word here. We want it to be real, not staged, not too over the top, because that is how you engage your listening. That's how you get them to kind of like pay attention. So yeah. So for me, my take on being a radio DJ is to be someone's companion, to be a friend, not so much to be an influencer. It sounds to me like it sounds
a big word.
Yeah, it sounds as though like I have like some sort of agenda that I want to brainwash the listeners, those that are tuning in. It's not meant to be any like political or anything. So that's why it's very important that everything is kept neutral, because we all have our different opinions, and it's very important that we are mindful of how we present our opinions. So, and going back to what you said earlier on, like apart from being a companion, I think for people who are still tuning in today, it's for the same reasons as those who tuned in before the internet. The main reason they're tuning in because they want a voice in the background. They want this invisible companion, basically, because right now you have so many different options. You can go to YouTube, you can go to Spotify. Okay, Spotify, you can just choose, okay, if you are a fan of the 90s, just hit 90s and your playlist is kind of set. But why do people still tune in? It's because there's someone there. It could be someone who is accompanying you to while you study and while you prepare for your exams. It could be someone who is there reading out dedications to your loved ones. It could be there giving you suggestions of where to eat for lunch tomorrow with your colleagues. You get what I mean? And also another reason why people still tune in, because not everyone is able to be on the ball when it comes to music. You get what I mean? Because we all have stuff to do. We all have work, we have to go out with friends and stuff like that. So you may not be in the know as to, hey, Jessie J has a new song out, and how you found out was because you listened to radio. There are some, enthusiasts who will be like reading up on music news and stuff like that, but not everyone has the time.
Radio is the easiest.
It's the easiest way to,
fastest.
yes. It's the easiest way to find out, what's new in the music scene, and also it's the easiest way to listen to all of your favorites. Like driving from point A to point B.
You mentioned that DJs are the voice that the people listen to. You also share information, especially during morning shows. How do you control or avoid control accuracy of information or unbiased opinions?
This is when you're like doing a debate. What do you mean?
Because for example, in morning talk show, you share information, but how do you ensure that you have shared the accurate? How do we validate this information?
Well, number one is to always check your source. your stories are from the Straits Times, it's pretty much confirmed that it's accurate. So if you're talking about serious issues, you must always check your source. If you're talking about something frivolous, like a silly story from Facebook, it could be I don't know. What story can I mention? Like, for example, a cat story. You know what I mean? It's like you don't really need to get someone to validate. Yeah, depending on the angle, depending on what the story is about, what's the topic. Yeah, as long as you know, for example, serious topics, as long as you know it's from the Straits Times and all that. So usually, it's a little more dangerous. Quote, if it's a solo job. If it's a duo or like 3 people in the group, it's easier to have different sides. You get what I mean? Because if it's a solo job, it may come across, or people might misunderstand.
That you're representing.
Correct. Yes. So if there's 2 sides, it's always better.
Do you regularly monitor your audience feedback? Let's say they use hashtags or you have a Twitter account.
Yeah, of course, all the time.
Okay. So do you also receive like positive or negative?
All the time. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
How do you,
positive and negative.
How do you handle, let's say, negative?
You have mean tweets.
Well, ultimately, it's still a business, right? And
You
so
cannot please everyone.
yeah, we have to always remember that we can't please everyone, but we will try and do our very best to. Should you be answering this one? Under your department.
Normally we will handle it. We just try our best to rectify the so-called problem. But then, we improve from there. Because feedback is very important to really learn from it.
Yeah, so if it's like someone complaining about something, we will definitely investigate. And if it's our fault, of course we will apologize. And we will try to improve. If it's just one of those, unhappy listeners,
Bashers.
I can call them bashers, just saying, like 1FM, you suck. And that's it. It's really unconstructive. But we will still take it. We will not delete it from Facebook. We will not do anything. Why? This is a PR standpoint. If you look at all the big brands, no matter whatever feedback they get on their Facebook, it will be left there. It will always be left there. They will not delete, because if you delete it shows that you're ashamed, you're hiding, you're covering yourself up. It's not a good method of defense. The best method is to actually address it. Okay? If someone says 1FM sucks, then that is when your PR or your marketing team will come in and reply to this person. Hi, so and so. I'm sorry to hear that you think 1FM sucks. Is there a reason why? We would love to hear from you and see if we can do our best to improve. That is the best way, in our opinion.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much
No
for
problem.
your
Bring it to the studio and see what's
Yeah, but maybe before that, can we like have some
Picture
taking, and you want to present just a small gift from all of us?
Oh,
Some sweet, but let's drink a lot of water for you.
oh, thank you. See, right now we are playing Jason Mraz, I Won't Give Up, and then after that we have a station liner, and then followed by Smashing Pumpkins, Tonight. So this is the library. You can actually scroll down, you can put a stop chain, what we call a stop chain, so that you can come up after Tonight. You can see there's a commercial.
Does other radio stations use the same program?
From what I hear, yes.
It's the latest technology that we have now for the radio stations.
stories for like the morning show and stuff like that, whether it's appropriate, whether it's relatable, maybe Adrian can give you that. Means that each element has one channel. So as you can see, A is plain, C plays tubular. So that it's all So never, for us, we will never ever turn it off, because if you turn it off, it means we will have dead air.
Yeah. And that's when this yellow light comes on. It's never fun to see the yellow light.
So this is where our tour ends. Thank you for watching. Thank you guys, and we hope you learned a lot like us as well. Bye!
Radio station was pretty amazing. We have learned a lot of things, and one of them is the value of segmentation. We know in the Philippines that most of the radio stations, they target a general audience. But here in Singapore, they value segmentation. It means that their target audience are categorized. They have a radio station that is for women. They have a radio station that targets men of 30 years old and above. And they even have a radio station for Chinese and Mandarin speaking listeners, but they still remain to be bilingual. So this is quite important in knowing our target audience. So we bring not only a good radio station, but also we're able to connect with the listeners.
Having a segmented market is also important for them to choose what information to relate to their audience. For example, if their target audience are housewives, they need to give information that is relevant to them. For example, how to take care of their children, how to take care of their households, things like that.
Nabanggit din nila yung characteristics or criteria of being a good DJ. So basically, voice is not that important. Kasi may maganda nga yung boses mo, wala ka naman masasabi or hindi ka naman relatable sa listeners mo, wala rin kwenta. So the most important thing na tinitingnan ng SPH is personality. So DJs sila, most of their DJs have their own personalities who knows exactly what their audience wants, what their listener wants, so they can talk about relatable contents and connect to them fully.
So aside from having a good personality and having a good quality of voice, if you want to be a very good DJ or effective broadcaster, you also need to be prepared, because no matter how nice your personality or how talented you are, if you're not prepared or if you don't know what type of material you're going to deliver, minsan nagkakaproblema din. So importante na mag-research tayo para sa target audience natin at i-assure natin yung accuracy ng mga information na i-deliver natin, especially if it's medyo sensitive na topic.
Astig yung mga equipment na pinakita nila. So pinakita niya kung paano mag-fade in, fade out, etc. Yung system na ginagamit nila tulad ng Zeta. Meron rin silang backup plan na tinatawag na CD. So yun yung piniplay ng mga DJ kapag nag-hang yung system nila.
Yung important sa ginagawa nila yung they value feedback. Whatever it is, whether positive or negative feedback, they try to read it through, they study, and then pag negative, they try to improve whatever that needs to be improved. Pag positive, of course, they accept it as well. So sabi nga, the DJ DEVC says, when you speak about good PR, you accept everything. You don't try to delete whatever things na just cover up the things that you think you don't want. Accept everything, and then it's for everybody naman, for everybody's feedback then. So yeah, it's very good.